Will, what do you think it was about your stuff tonight that allowed you to get so much swing and miss?
Yeah, just being aggressive in the zone, and I think just executing our game plan. I think since the trade deadline, that team's like a little different looking, and so we had to really dial in on our plan, and I think we just executed it really good tonight.
Aaron Boone just said you can live in the strike zone and have success. How much time did it take for you to kind of wrap your head around that's possible, that you'd be able to have success just going out there and throwing strikes?
Yeah, I think really coming into this season, after the struggles of last year, I think you get 2 or 3 starts under your belt, and then you start leaning and getting a little more confident, and all right, I can get away with forcing fastballs or sinkers or whatever it is in the zone, as long as you're aggressive through the zone and to the spot, which is really nice because you fall behind and 2-0 or 3-0, you can basically here it is, and let those guys behind you play.
Did you feel like you needed to try to get deep in this one just based on the fact that the bullpen has really been leaned on heavily lately?
Yeah, I think as a starting rotation in general, I think we take pride in getting, we want to get 6 or more every time. Lately, it hadn't been the case, so it was nice to go out there and give us some length.
Your average velocity was up a little bit, especially on the sinker. Do you attribute that to anything in particular?
No, honestly, I was going to say I felt great today, but a little under the weather, so maybe I need to do that every week.
In what ways have you seen growth from Ben behind the plate since he's caught you for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I told somebody this the other day, I was like, it's crazy because Ben was, only a catcher since we got drafted, and then he had to go learn how to play first base, and now he's back catching again, and it's like, he's done everything he's asked, and honestly, I mean, it's like he hadn't lost a step back there. He does a really good job game planning, and, we talk through in between innings and stuff about, certain pitches and setups and stuff like that. And it's like he's been catching this whole time and never played first base. So it's really nice throwing to him.
He's an Ivy Leaguer. Does that come across when you're talking pitching with him?
Yeah, definitely with the scouting reports. He's like pulling up his notes, and I thought he was going to be a pen and paper guy, but he's a lot of notes are on the iPad.
How much does it make for you to be aggressive when you get an early lead like that?
Yeah, it's definitely, it helps out. I don't think my mindset changes whether we have a lead or not. I think when you start talking 3 or 4 runs, then it's like, all right, I can be aggressive in the zone and let them hit the ball. But definitely, from the start, it's attack, and it's, nice to get a little cushion there at the beginning of the game.
Well, a few times this year when you've had rough starts, you've lamented the walks. How significant is it for you to have a night like tonight where you don't walk anyone?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, being aggressive in the zone and relying on the guys behind us and, kind of leaning on your confidence in this through the zone. I think, there was 3 tonight. I was 3-0 on somebody. And I'm like, I'm not trying to throw it middle, but at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, here it is. Like, I'm going to let you hit it and let these guys behind me play defense because I do have that confidence in my stuff that it can beat them in a 3-0 count.
You said you were taking into account that Minnesota is a different team after the trade deadline. Younger, more aggressive? Were they attacking you as much as you were attacking them?
I think they took first pitch all the way through the first inning, or the first time through the lineup, but then I think they got way more aggressive as the game went on. But I don't know if it was – I think it was more of some of these guys don't have that many plate appearances in the big leagues, and so it's kind of hard to find a scouting report. And so it's like those are guys not necessarily that you're worried about, but it's like, all right, what's their plan of attack? How do I, use my strengths against that? And you got to go, dig a little deeper to find it.
Susan mentioned getting the lead early with the Bellinger home run, but when you have 2 guys that go back-to-back there in that 3rd inning, what type of boost of energy does that provide for the team as a whole?
Yeah, I think we've been needing that spark. We've been playing flat, I feel like, and, tonight we jumped out there with the Bellinger home run, and then obviously we went back to back, and I don't know, we got a spark of energy, and it was like, all right, this is how we're supposed to play baseball. Like the past month hadn't been how we're supposed to play baseball, and I think it was a little, we've had a gut punch lately, and it was nice to get out there and play baseball the way we're supposed to.
Well, have you noticed any major differences pitching to Austin and Ben?
No, I think they both do a great job. Like I said, Ben, was playing first base a lot, so I think he relies on Austin a lot for, hey, how's this guy like to pitch and stuff like that, and gets tips from him. So I think both of them do a great job when they're back there. So yeah.
Where would you say your level of confidence is at this point in the year, especially after you've been able to stack up some really good starts?
Yeah. I like to say my confidence is at a pretty high number all the time, but yeah, I think it's good. I think it's not comfortable, but it's nice knowing that, I plan on taking the ball every 5 days, and I can lean on that. And it's to the point of like, all right, let's go, put us in a chance to win, give us a chance to win, go deep into games like, we did tonight. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty high.